when I was maybe 4 or 5 or something like that. I was little. When I was little, a wee little lumpkin, in little person's school. It was at school. I don't know. Junior, not junior, infant school. I don't know. Fucking tiny people, tiny young person school. This kid. It was. We were just finishing break. I remembered this recently, and I thought it's such an important part of my life that I wanted to share it with you. I think we just finished up like playtime, and this boy comes up to me, and he says, "I think it's a boy that I stole his toys at some point." That was fun. He came up to me and said, "Ewan, do you want to see some really soggy sand? Do you want to see some really soggy sand?" And I said, yeah. And then he went, "Look, come over here." And then it was like on the ground by one of the classrooms. This is a patch of like really wet sand, and he was like putting his foot in it. He was wearing shoes, but he was putting his foot in it, going, "Look, it's so squishy and soggy." And then one of the like, I don't think it was a teacher. It was like one of the like class helpers or something. I don't think I was in like a special needs school, but I might have been. And they had like helpers for the children, for the special children. Not for me. I wasn't one of them. She like grabbed him and went, "No, don't do that. Come away. Let's go back to classes starting or whatever." And then I think I overheard someone say how there was actually puke. It was someone had puked, and then they'd put like really fine sawdust over it or something. And so, and it was a lot. It was quite a big patch of like puke. Just fucking, I don't know, 5-year-old child vomit covered in sawdust or something that had gone all mushy. And this one boy went, "Hey, look, soggy sand," and then was gonna like play in it, or like was sort of pushing his foot in it, stomping in it a little bit, which is it's a bit weird. But so I find out it's actually puke, which is like, oh, that's pretty disgusting. But it's another one of those moments where it's like, why? Maybe it's just a childhood thing. Like, children are stupid, and they don't know what they're doing at any given moment. If someone offers but says, "Hey, do I want to see some really soggy sand?" Why would I say yes? Why would that ever pique my interest? "Oh yeah, show me that soggy sand. Oh, I've always wanted to see some really soggy sand. Oh yeah, go on. Let's see the soggy sand. I can't wait to see this soggy sand." So fucking stupid. Inexorably. There's a word to just fucking look up, isn't it? Inexorably. In a way that is impossible to stop or prevent. Yes, quite. Inexorably. That reminds me of the headless gay picture, if anyone remembers that. That's a deep cut from the podcast. Only the real G's remember the headless gay picture. Why would I want to see that? If someone says, "Do you want to see a headless gay picture?" why would I say yes? And I know my internal thinking at the time, when I reflect on it, I think it's just one of those many, many moments in my life where I didn't know how to respond, and so I just went along with whatever was going on. It's like they say there's fight or flight, but there's also freeze, which is another thing that sort of gets forgotten about when people talk about fight and flight. And freeze was and has been, and I probably still is to this day, my sort of like immediate trauma response. In a traumatic or unknown situation, my response is to just freeze, and therefore I'm probably susceptible to like going along with whatever is happening in the situation. I just freeze up. I go, oh shit, what do? I don't know. Just do whatever's fucking happening right now. Okay then, do you want to see a headless gay picture? Sure! Show me the headless gay. Do you want to see some really soggy sand? Yes! Yes, I want to see some soggy sand. Show me the soggy sand. Which is actually puke that you were playing. And this kid was just playing in puke. And I know it was, this isn't me being like, oh, it wasn't, I wasn't playing in the puke. No, I'm not gonna, come on. I wouldn't do so. Nowadays I would. But back then, I know it wasn't me playing in the puke, because in that situation, I didn't know what was happening. So I wouldn't have played in the puke, because I wouldn't know. Even if I thought it was sand, I wouldn't be like, haha, cool, let's play in the soggy sand. I'd have been like, okay, why is there sand here on the random bit of concrete outside the classroom? I don't know. Why are you showing me some sand? Why are you showing me some sand? Also, I think I had stolen that boy's toy at some point. It was like a Transformer toy, like an off-brand, not actually a Transformer, but a transforming car toy. And I think it had been an issue that his toy had been stolen, but nobody knew it was me that stole it. See, I was a gangster even back then, stealing shit. And I think I was scared that, like, that's why it was a fight, flight, freeze response, was because I'd stolen this kid's toy, and so when he comes up to me saying, hey, do you want to see a thing? I was probably feeling guilty, and I was like, yeah, let's do that, friend, pal, sure, let's fucking do this shit. I mean, the headless gay thing, I've no, I have no explanation for that. That was just, I don't fucking know. If, in case anyone is unaware, I'll retell the headless gay story, because I'm new viewers all the time, and I don't want to leave anyone out of the lore, the backstory of the podcast, the all important tales, like the headless gay picture. So this was at later at school, maybe I was 9 or 10, at junior school. Still wasn't at secondary school yet, but whatever. So one boy who obviously knew something along the lines of like what all of us were into at that point, and so he was like, yeah, Ewan will like this, I'll show Ewan. So he comes up to me and he says, hey Ewan, do you want to see a headless gay picture? Which is what I thought, that's not what he actually said. What I heard in my head, because I hear a thing and I don't want to make the situation weird by going, what did you say? I didn't hear what you said, please clarify. I want to be taken seriously, and so I just go along with and now I guess there's the explanation. I just gave it. I didn't think I knew it, but apparently I do. I don't want to be seen as foolish, and so when somebody says, do I want to see a headless gay picture, and I didn't quite hear what they said, and I think that's a bit of a strange thing to say to a person, but sure, I'm cool, I'm hip, show me the headless gay picture. David, I think the guy's name was, and then what he showed me, and I absolutely had a moment of, oh, that's what you meant. I thought you I didn't tell him what I thought he said. I didn't tell him that I thought he asked if I wanted to see a headless gay picture. I haven't told anyone that until I mentioned it on the podcast, whenever that was. What he actually showed me was a picture of Kenny from South Park that he'd like printed off of his dad's computer or something without his hood. So what he'd shown me was a hoodless Kenny picture, which this was previous to the film coming out, and I don't think, as far as I recall, I don't think Kenny had been seen without his hood at that point. So the idea of seeing a hoodless Kenny picture was a pretty big deal at that time. This was, this was early as 90s, I believe, I think. And it was a big thing. So this guy, he was one of those people who, like, his dad worked in computers, so he had the internet before anyone else, and evidently he used that internet access to look up South Park pictures, which is what we all did. And he looked up a headless gay picture. He saw a picture online of Kenny without his hood, and then he brought it into school. And obviously he brought it into school to be like, hey, check it out, everyone. I've got a picture of Kenny from South Park without his hood. Look at me, check me out. But, you've got to get your wins where you can. So I don't have any ill feelings towards the guy for that. That's perfectly fair and legitimate. Get yours. And so he obviously knew that, like, all of us, we all liked South Park because they said bad words and it's funny. And at the time, I was probably drawing all the characters a lot and stuff. I don't think I'd even seen a full episode. Everyone else was drawing them and, like, talking about it. So I was like, haha, yeah. And, I was the kid who drew, so I was drawing pictures of the characters. And so the guy knew, oh, Ewan likes South Park. Hey, Ewan, do you want to see this hoodless Kenny picture? But I thought he said headless gay. And you can see why I thought it's not like, how did you get from here to there? Like, if somebody's quickly saying to you, in a playground full of laughing, screaming, playing children, of which I was one. This wasn't one of those times where I'm an adult amongst the children at a playground. Someone says, hey, Ewan, do you want to see a headless gay picture? Do I want to see a headless gay picture? Sure. Obviously, I didn't repeat back what he said. I just said, okay then. And I think I sort of visualised in my mind, before he showed me the picture, I think I had sort of concocted an image of a headless man, probably naked because he was gay, because I didn't know how gay was really defined. So I figured, probably a naked man with no head. Haha, yeah, show me that. And if I had seen that, I'd have been horrified and even more traumatized than I already was. So it's probably for the best that it wasn't actually a headless gay picture. But you can see why I thought he said that. I don't know why I thought he would have said that. That's what I heard. Sort of what I thought he said. I thought he said, do I want to see a headless gay picture? And that's my headless gay picture story. For anyone who hasn't heard it before, that's the famous. It's not remotely famous at all, but that's the headless gay story, which is still one of my favourite. That phrase comes into my head so often, like probably weekly, at least once a week. The phrase, do you want to see a headless gay picture, comes into my mind. And I'm just sort of like amused and baffled and slightly turned on, but not to any degree that I'd do anything about it. And no, I was going to say not as often, but not at all really does the phrase. It has popped into my head once or twice over the years, but nowhere near as often as a headless gay picture is, do you want to see some really soggy sand? What? We were like 4 or 5 years old, so sure, anything that's not something you see regularly on a day-to-day basis. It's out of the ordinary, and it's wow, look at that. There's some fucking soggy sand on the playground outside the classroom. Wow, check out the fucking soggy sand. I can't believe it. Do you want to see the soggy sand, Ewan? Oh my god, you won't believe how soggy this soggy sand is. Do you mean the throw up that was covered with sawdust? That wasn't sand at all. That was, in fact, sick. Good gravy. Oh, thank you. It's just brown in the water. That's from The Simpsons. Oh, hi everyone. Hello. Welcome to the show. How are you doing? What do you know? We're here today and every day, but not every day. It's every Friday. I post them in my Patreon, and then a week later you can see them on YouTube for the public, for everyone to see. Come along, get involved, watch me draw pictures and talk about shit, and tits and piss and bitches and puke and headless gays and all of the hoorays. It's party time with you and do sweet little dear peedle poo squanna bee banana new hip tap doo. Hi everyone, it's great to see you again. How are you all doing? I hope you've had a great week. I hope you've all been creating, making images, making art. Maybe your medium of choice is words. Maybe you're a poet. Maybe you dance. Maybe you use feces. Maybe you shit in your hands and smear it on the asylum walls, and you draw your night terrors on the walls in shit. Maybe you killed your mother and you drew pictures with her blood all over your body, and you said, I'm the demon Caligor, and I'm here to destroy the family units, starting with all the mothers. All mothers must perish. And then you killed your own mum. It start off the chain of mother killings as Caligor, and you're gonna destroy all the mums in the world. But maybe you got caught because you were a silly Billy. You didn't think about the fact that somebody somewhere will check up on your mum at some point. She is a person, a human with friends and acquaintances that are gonna ask about her if she's not around. She didn't show up to the book club. Oh, I'll pop round with the casserole. Oh my god, her body's been fucking torn to pieces and desecrated and strewn about the home, and there's blood on the walls and the carpet, and the cat's dead. It doesn't look like it's been murdered, but it might have just died of shock. I don't know. Maybe that's your medium of choice. If so, that's great. Creating's the most fun thing you can do. Let's all have a create. Let's all become gods in our own image. Let's all create worlds within worlds, and even smaller worlds within those smaller worlds. And let's be like unto God ourselves and create beings and entities and energies. And let's dance naked under the moonlight around fires with people far too young than we really should be hanging out with. But it's okay because it's in the name of, we'll call it religion, and we'll be tax exempt and we'll have blood orgies and fire moons and chicken dinners, roast chicken dinners, and pet goats, because they're cool. They eat the grass. You don't need to mow the lawn if you've got a pet goat, because they take care of that. They eat the grass. If you've got a lawn like this and you put a stake in the ground and you tie your goat to it, and then your goat will just walk around in circles, and all of this grass will all be eaten by the goat. You maybe get another goat here, and then that will take care of it. Another goat here, and that'll take care of this, and another goat, and then all of you just have goats. So many goats. Well, shit all over my chest and rub it all over me, smear my entire body in shit and call me the Brown Hulk. It's only the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, illustrated by Nick Klein, written by who gives a shit, writers are pieces of turd. I hate them, I don't care about them or their practice whatsoever. I only care about drawings. Written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. I've already had a quick flick through this. It was a delight to see this. I was hoping there'd be more in. I mentioned I seem to have misplaced. I cannot find my copy of Slain the Horned God. Days after saying that, they've released or are releasing a new fucking giant format, new, fancy pants version of Simon Bisley's Slain the Horned God. I think, if I understand correctly, there's a big paperback edition and also a super duper hardback boxed edition. I'm gonna have to get one of them. I'm hoping for just the paperback one, because I don't care about the whole hardback box fucking thing. It's whatever. It's just going to be in a pile of books on my floor, so it doesn't matter. Maybe that's why I can't fucking find a copy. I've already got. I thought it had been released already. I'm not sure if it has or not. I went into the comic book store hoping beyond hope. I didn't expect to see it in there, but I hoped I might see it in there because it's, a fancy new book. They might have it in there, but it wasn't in there. So I went in hoping to find like that and maybe a couple of other bits and pieces. I only came out with this, which, is cool. I'd hoped for a bit more, but nevertheless, I was delighted that this was available. It's new, it's Hulk, it's the Incredible Hulk. I flicked through it already, and already there's pages and pages of just really cool drawings. Like every issue that has Nick Klein's artwork, because some of them don't really talk about it. Every issue has like cool artwork and at least one or two pages that are just like, hey, the new. That's Scottish for, oh, that's quite surprising. There might be like a big monster or like an action shot. The transformation pages are really impressive. But this, just flicking through it, like, there's just so many cool drawings. Not all of them are like blow your tits into your mother's vagina good, but just look, a couple of pages in. First couple of pages, Hulk fighting Bruce Banner. That's kind of neat. Some cool, like, I like the slightly desaturated tone of like the greens and stuff. They do make the green here and here stand out a bit more, which is good. And then the general sort of orange, brown, rust, blood kind of tones they've got going on throughout the pages. And then this, at first I thought this was like some horrible statue, but then you realise it's like a guy strung up or chained up, hung upside down, and he's having his body and like intestines eaten by these little imp things. They kind of look like Izzy's from the Max. And he's been like weighed down with a gravestone tied to his wrists. Even just like the big Hulk face in the foreground's cool. The underlighting in this comic throughout the whole thing has been really, really good. Like the red-orange underlighting, and here with the turquoise and the purple on the, as he's holding them up, and he's fucking got you. But then that's just really fucking cool. That's a really, really cool drawing. It does have traces, of Pit, like certain aspects of that bring Pit to mind. It might be in like the double lighting, and the inking is sort of makes me think of that a little bit. Yeah, really, really fucking cool. His guts are coming out, and the colours really, really good. I assume it's the same colourist as previous issues, Matthew Wilson. Gorgeous, really nicely done colouring throughout the entire series. And then similar again, but like from a different angle, like quite a brave thing to do, to have literally like discounting this fucking ad page, whatever the balls that is. Literally the next page to have a very, very similar drawing. There's been times where I've, like in Death Fist, there was a couple of moments where I realised a panel from like one page to the next or a couple of pages over was almost identical. So I had to really think about like, shit, I've got to change this. How do I change it to like make it different? But it's very, very similar. Do you know what? Look, I'll fucking fold my pages. I don't give a shit. They're only comics. There was no need to do that. I was only doing that to be like, oh, look at me. I don't care about comics because I'm different. Fucking asshole. It's quite a brave, bold decision to have quite similar panels, but also quite difficult to like redraw the same thing, but at a slightly different angle. Like you can see it's slightly tilted this way. So the feet are bigger, this is smaller, and you can see the top of the gravestone as it's sort of looking slightly down from above. And the imps are really fucking tearing the meat off of his legs, or the skin at least, and his guts are hanging out and stuff. Really, really cool drawings. That's cool. They almost look like the aliens, the xenomorphs from the Aliens franchise. Oh, they're getting Banner. Oh no. Oh no. Oh look. They bit his legs so much, his legs fucking snapped off. I didn't see that before. And his body's falling down. That's kind of cool. Oh, they snap right there. Yeah, there's a whole panel devoted to them snapping at the bone. And then this. Fucking fuck. How fucking cool is that? Some crazy fucking harpy monster thing with a face that sort of is 3 faces in one. That's really similar to... shit, do I have a copy of my balls? I do, fuck yeah. I think it's in the colours section. Yeah, right there. So look at that. Skulls, 3 with the teeth and the goblin faces. It goes, those eyes are those eyes are those eyes, and it goes out, and then the teeth and the... Look at that. Look at that. It's fucking... He stole that from me. Because I'm obviously the only person that could have had this idea in the whole of time to have existed on this planet. Obviously, I don't actually believe that. But it's quite cool that, you know, similar vibes and stuff. Avarice, famine, matricide, war, delirium. Does it say what that is? Plague, idolatry, bloodshed, lust, pestilence, gluttony, savagery. What is it? The sin bird. Sinbad the Sin Bird. It's just yelling out sins. But yeah, look how fucking cool that is. The texture of the feathers and stuff, the lighting again, the underlighting, the double fucking thing. And then to draw that from different angles so it looks like a physical thing instead of just a cool drawing is a whole other issue in itself, but really, really well done as fucking Banner's chopping up these imps with a sword, and then the Hulk fucking stomps on this goddamn bird thing and lets out an almighty Hulk roar. Savagery. Roar. Hulk smash. He's angry at the Hulk. I like the real the contrast, I guess, between Banner and the Hulk. Like Banner is like a, you know, he's well built, I guess, but he's a fairly skinny, scrawny dude. And then the Hulk is just this fucking meat house. That's always what the Hulk has been. That's literally the point of the Hulk. But it's cool to see it, this sort of gulf between them, of them fighting against each other. Banner chucks the sword at him, and it goes ting. And the Hulk's just like, any excuse to make that fucking noise. Then when I said this thing's just full of cool drawings, I minted it. Fucking look at this. I don't know how well. Yeah, it shows well enough. Yeah, you can see what's going on. But it's all like one huge drawing, or this one page is at least. It looks like there's a body here, a head and a rib cage and shoulders, and it's like intestines are out here, and almost like all of this stuff is growing out of this body, and there's another sort of body here. So maybe it's all parts of these bodies growing into this landscape with like I can't remember what you call those things in cemeteries, the little like dead person houses they have in cemeteries. I want to say it's got the word or the sound orium in it, like not crematorium, but like little. Let me Google little buildings in a cemetery. A mausoleum. Yeah, I guess that would work. A mausoleum. Sure, let's call them mausoleums. Yeah, little mausoleums and grave sites and other things, and there's like intestines coming down and all these different textures of like lumpy, bumpy, natural stuff, and trees and vines and eyes and giant bats and cages and fucking stuff. And it's all coloured really nicely as well. I'd be so scared to colour this because I'd be really worried about it being too contrasting and jarring from thing to thing. But it all sort of blends into, all the different parts blend into each other blend into one another well enough. That's what I was going for. While still having contrast to differentiate them as different pieces of landscape and image. Things on fire here with smoke, and the smoke almost matches parts of the texture of the stuff, different colours. And then them, I guess they're riding the giant bird harpy thing now across the entire thing with them in front of, just fucking cool. And then this fucking guy painting and shit, and then the harpy gets attacked by giant bats and they fall out of the sky. That's another one of those panels where it's like, right, I have to draw them riding this three-faced harpy monster bird thing, and they're in the air and it gets attacked by a giant bat, and I'd just be at a loss of like, how in all of fuck am I supposed to goddamn illustrate that? That's impossible. I mean, not impossible, I mean, as shown, but I would not find it easy to draw that at all. They go into this place, the colouring, the light from outside, this warm orange light as they go inside into this dark grey, purple, cold coloured thing. Hulk steps on a skull, you klutz, you clumsy green idiot, you cunt. The details in here, the angle's really cool where everything's like, they're looking up, so everything's sort of ascending. You've got skeletons and skulls and fucking stalactites and bodies wrapped up and shit. Such cool drawings, such nice ink work, such nice colour. This might be one of the most like nice to look at comics I've seen in a long time. Even like through all of Nick Klein's issues of this series, they've all been like really nice to look at. But like I say, this, in terms of like page by page stuff going on, just cool fucking drawings, it's really, really impressive. And then more fucking cool monsters and stuff, minotaurs and undead beasts and warriors and shit. The colours, again, the contrast between cool and hot colourings of all the monsters and stuff. The contrast between the Hulk and the other monsters. And that's a cool shot anyway, of just them surrounded by these freaks and creeps and monsters and things. And then a little close-up shot of some of them. Really nice ink work. Good textures on like the fur on his chest and his head and stuff, and then skin for the other parts. And then this guy looks completely different. It's really fucking good. And then they all fight. Monster fight, monster fight, monster fight. Ah, crack, clack, crash, raw, roar, yeah, cool, like underside view of a jumping dinosaur monster from like 3/4 behind, and then this guy creeping in is like, it's an awkward angle to draw anything from, really. They're like 3/4 behind look kind of thing, looking outwards. But it's like a nice shape, and it's a monster, so it doesn't need to be like anatomically perfect or whatever. That's really, really nice. And then a fucking spider god man. I don't even know. Fucking stuff. An artist passed away, and that was his artwork. Sure, okay, cool, sad. But giant underside of a spider. That's like underside of a car. Like if I have to draw the underside of a car, all of a sudden in a comic, I'm like, my mind goes blanker than it's ever been, and I realise, like, have I ever seen the underside of a car? I actually have, like up close, which isn't exciting, but it was a police car on its side a couple of years ago. I'd seen one at school as well, a car on its side, drinking and driving. It's really fun. And I saw a police car on its side a couple of years ago on my daily walk. That was quite funny. And I saw the underside. As I was walking past, I was thinking I should take a picture or like take note of like how it looks in case I need to draw that. And then I didn't. And I think I'll go out of my way to not draw the underside of a car. But it's that sort of thing of like, okay, now draw the underside of a spider. How? Obviously, Google images and whatever, but you know, so it's just shit you don't know how to draw, and then you have to draw it, and it's tricky. It's tricky. But it's also a man. Ugh. And then they fight. It's just fighting monsters all over the fucking place. Really nice colours. Again, just really, really cool. Really nice. Nicely done. Beat him down, stomped him into the ground. And he's there. I like how he's got like his spider legs up in the air and his hands are like, oh. That's a fun thing to draw. It's just hands coming up. If they're like dead hands or if they're like zombie hands coming out of the grave or something. Drawing hands coming upwards is quite a fun thing to draw. Maybe I'll do an entire comic, The Hand That Arose. And I could draw a hand and then like a rose in the background, but it would be spelled like a rose, not like a rose. Oh, that's brilliant. A whole comic about a hand upwards. I don't know. Fucking whatever. And then one of his spider legs cuts the Hulk's chest, and then Hulk's blood spills on the ground, and then another Hulk climbs out of the Hulk blood. I don't know. And then I think all of this has been like a vision or something that he was thrown into by Dr. Voodoo or whatever. And he gets pulled out. But then he's actually got a scratch on his chest, like in the thing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god! Next issue. Look at that as a cover for the next issue. Oh. That's a pose I learned early on as well, of where you get, well, just like that really. Just it's fairly easy to draw like cool pose. You get like the chest and then the arms in fists or whatever, and then you just pop like half the head on top, like it's shouting, "Oh!" But you know, you can make it look better than that, like this. It's, if you take time to do it, it's quite an easy like pose to like impressive looking, easy-ish to draw pose. Oh, and look, he's in his hand, and the demon's hand, and it's like, oh, fucking, oh. I sometimes wish that I could impress people with a sudden realization that I'm good at drawing. Like, you know, I could be somewhere amongst people for a while, and they get to know me, and they're like, "Ha, Ewan's so cool and funny," and he like has all these quirks, and he's like, all this energy, and tells these jokes about gladiators and cannibals and shit. Oh, he's really funny. He says piss and cunt a lot. Oh, he's a funny one. Is our Ewan. But then I want there to be a moment where, like, I don't know, someone sees me drawing. They're like, "Oh shit, you can draw. That's amazing. I never knew. That's amazing. Wow." Where, you know, But the issue is that more often than not, drawing and me being fucking fantastic at it is like the first thing people know about me. Ewan draws pictures. At my, I don't want to talk about it too much, but at my sister's funeral, no one asked if I was okay, but everyone was like, "Oh, how's the art? How do you still do the art? How's things going with the art?" Like, that's what people know about me is, all these family members and other people, family friends that haven't seen me in so long. All they know about me is Ewan does the art. I'll ask him about that, which is totally fine. I don't blame anyone for it. It just is the thing. It is what it is. Oof, that was a deep one. Fathoms deep. As deep as your mother's cunt. So yeah, I'm really never able to have that that moment. And if people first meet me, they say like, "Oh, what do you do?" Or they might. Can't remember the last time I met a new person for the first time. That's if they meet me and they don't already know who I am from Instagram. Because there have been people I've met for the first time in somewhat recent years, but it's usually through art of some kind or through Instagram or whatever. So literally one of the first things they know about me is Ewan drawing, and that's like a given. So I don't get to have that moment of like, "Oh my god, I didn't realise you could draw. That's so cool. Oh, you paint too? Oh wow, I'm learning all these new things about it." It's always just, "Well, yeah, of course you could draw. That's what you do. Shut up, do it. Fucking do your job, Ewan. You dildo fart. You ass piss. You bunch of fucking ever so slightly developed semen in a man suit." In an ill-fitting, not particularly well-made man suit, like I'm fucking Donnie Darko or something. Why are you wearing that stupid man suit? Because it's all I've fucking got, cunt. Don't judge me for my clothing choices, you prick. I'll eat your parents. Unless you don't like your parents, in which case I will eat, I don't know, fucking pets or something. That probably would have been a better thing to say from the outset. I'll eat your cat. Shut up. I'll eat your pets. I'll eat your hamsters. I'll take your hamster and just fucking bite it in half. And I'll give you back the good half if you're lucky. And I won't tell you, I meant to say I'll give you back the bad half. But I won't tell you which half is the good or the bad half, because it might not be the one you think. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the show. How's your week been? What do you know? Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you breed snakes? Do you make art? Do you have what it takes? All it takes is a willingness to fucking hate yourself and wish people would love and respect you for something other than who your parents were, and then you have to create a life for yourself instead of having one handed to you. So you spend all your time fucking sitting and drawing, and that's how you become known. You become known as, "Oh, he's really good at drawing, isn't he? Oh, he does it. That's all he does. He's in his room all the time, just sitting and drawing, and masturbating, but sitting and drawing." I'm drawing Gertrude from How I Met Your Fairyland. That was weird. That's the words that were in my head. Sometimes I say weird funny things to try to be like weird funny, but that was legitimately the words that went into my head. I wasn't trying to be, that wasn't even funny, but I wasn't trying to be like obscure, say something random. The words that were in my head were How I Met Your Fairyland. Of course, it's I hate. I'm just drawing. It's just for fun. There's no reason. It's not for anything. I'm just practicing drawing Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland for fun. It's just for fun. Stop asking if it's for and if it's if there's a reason. But it's just, there's not. It's just for fun, I swear. I felt like randomly, out of nowhere, for no reason, unprovoked, just drawing fucking Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. That's it. That's all it is. That's literally it. There's nothing more to it than that. Just happened randomly to, feel like. I mean, I've got some spaces in my look. A couple more. And then the guy. Fill in some. Oh, it's the magical Leopleurodon. It's the magical Leopleurodon, Charlie. It's showing us the way. It's I'm just randomly getting used to drawing the sort of shapes and character elements of Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. That's just it. It's just space in my schedule. Just fill it up with fucking Gertrude from Arrested Development. Why? Why are random sitcoms in my head instead of? I guess because I Hate Fairyland kind of has that, like, I don't know, sort of sitcom title thing. How I Met Your Mother, Arrested Development, I Hate Fairyland. Like, it fits. No, it doesn't necessarily. It just fucking whatever. How I Hate Your Fairyland, Arrested Fairyland, I Hate Development. But I just felt like drawing it. There's no reason. There's nothing behind it. There's nothing I'm drawing it for, necessarily. I just felt like it might be fun, not necessary, but maybe just a bit of a lark, to just spend some time practicing drawing Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland, just for no reason, just out of the blue. Haven't really, had an inclination to draw her anytime lately, no real reason to. I just suddenly, out of the blue, out of nowhere, felt like now might be a good time to sort of keep her in mind and get my art muscles used to drawing her and her like shapes and characterizations and shit. And that's it. I'm telling you, there's nothing else behind it. It's purely just an exercise, just a fun thing to draw. And she's cut the head off a teddy bear, and he's all says, "Oh no, oh my head's cut off now. Oh no, what am I going to do? Oh dear, do." These are his ears, and this is his big stupid cut off head, and this is blood coming out of his fucking neck hole. The dead bastard that he is. That looks like a condom. Imagine that. You imagine. Oh, I'm dead now. Yeah, like I say, nothing, no reason. Just no reason. No reason at all. No need to panic. No need to assume anything. I guess similarly to the headless gay story. The infamous headless gay picture story. There may be people who don't know. Several years ago, I did some variant covers for Scotty Young's I Hate Fairyland. He contacted me directly, obviously, because I'm a pretty big deal in the art community, and he got hold of me. He was like, "Oh, Ewan, desperately need your artwork on my covers to help sell units, because your artwork is going to help sell units. That's how they talk, you know, selling units. Industry types. What are you going to do, eh? Oh, a bunch of money grubbing bastards, a lot of them. And I was like, fine. So he sent me some drawings. I traced them, painted over them. He used them for his... I do have them next to me, but I won't show them because, you know, it's not about that. I do, yeah, I have like all my I Hate Fairyland comics next to me to look through for reference images, because I just happened randomly, unprovoked, that's not the word I'm searching for, but yeah, unaided, there was just nothing behind it. I just happened to feel like drawing some sort of, like, I don't know, practice images of Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. But yeah, so he sent me drawings, I traced them, I painted over them, did a little bit back and forth to make sure we were on the same sort of wavelength, on the same page, same comic book page. And they were published, printed, they're out there in the world. I like a couple of them. I actually recently sold all of them. I sold a couple of them a couple of years ago. And then I think the same guy who bought those two bought the other 3, so I did 5 in total. And yeah, it was quite cool. It was a few years ago. It was one of those moments where it's like, had I put in the work after doing that, I may have been able to like leverage that into something. Part of me was like, oh, I've done these comic book covers, now everyone's going to want a piece of Ewan, and I'm going to get so much work coming in. And that didn't happen because I don't think I have that, like, that business drive to like, oh, now I can take this and contact these people using this as an example of my work and then get more work. I did nothing. I just sat on it and I was like, hey, that was a cool thing I did. The end. And it's been a bunch of years since then. And now I'm randomly, for no reason other than my own personal enjoyment and wanting to fill up this fucking sketchbook, I'm just randomly drawing pictures of Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland for no real reason. There's nothing coming up. There's no reason for me to draw them other than I just fucking felt like it. Stop asking. It's not that I'm not going to tell you what it's for. They're not for anything. These drawings are literally not for anything. I just felt like, hey, maybe it'll be a good time to spend some time getting used to drawing Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. And that's all it is. Throw a bit of orange in there. Look at that. Makes it like a nice flesh colour instead of just pink. Cool. Look at that. Techniques. Orange ink in there from this orange and yellow having fucking ballpoint pen. I have bought some more of these, by the way, just because. This was good, but then I tried drawing just like regular pictures with like. See, I took the purple one out to use it separately, because drawing properly drawing pictures like this is a shit. It's a pain in my asshole. It was a funny gimmick, and it's like potentially useful and like funny to be like, haha, I turned these 4 separate pens into one bulky, hard to use 4-color pen. In practice, it's not good. So I just bought some more of those. Bought some more of them. Paid for some more of them. But again, I don't want to belabor the point. It's not for anything. It's not pursuant to anything. There's no reason behind it. Just felt like drawing Gertrude a bunch of times as one might if, for instance, they might be trying to like get used to drawing her if they needed to draw her for something. That they would then, you know, be in a better position to do so. They'd feel more ready to do so if they needed to do so at some point. And I'm not saying that's what the case is. I'm just saying that's sort of how I'm going into these drawings of her, just to keep in mind that, like, you know, oh shit, like if I needed to draw the underside of a car or a spider, I got to fucking look up the underside of a car or a spider, and it's like, oh shit, what if randomly out of nowhere there was reason for me to need to draw Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland, which I've, you know, is a comic I have done some work for before. What if I needed to draw her, you know, and I didn't feel prepared. I didn't feel like I had it in me to do so. I feel like I need to like really get used to drawing her. But that's, you know, that's just sort of a way of looking at it. In practice, I'm just filling up pages. Because look, my sketchbook's almost full. I've thrown a few little doodles here and there, just extra little bits and pieces just to fill in the blanks. I might put something here, I might not, because I quite like just the tits there. Just funny little bits and pieces, a few more little murder falcon doodles. Some shit. These little guys, I drew him just because I thought it would look funny as like a sort of semi-human biological version of these guys, just like a funny smiley face. And then I was like, hey, what if he was like a raider, like in Fallout, but like a weird guy with like 3 arms and a floaty head thing. And then I drew more because I was like, I quite like it. I quite like the shapes and the character if these were like a race of things. So I give this one a cigarette and an AK. Just to fill in space, just because it's funny. But I might do more with these because I quite like them. I put some like chewing gum on his foot. But yeah, I'm almost done with this sketchbook. Got a bunch of shit. But ooh, panties. It's cool, isn't it? Look, with water, 2 people in the front, like orcs and shit. Oh, guys. Dinosaurs and things. And Gertrude and the magical Leopleurodon, Charlie. More fucking things. I need to do something with this page. Maybe I'll draw more Gertrude from my Fairyland. Librarian baboon. I did him just for a bit of a, you know, he seemed to fit a baboon thing. Also, I wanted to make sure I was drawing like a cartoony, characterized version of a baboon, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't just copying IR baboon without trying to. Like, you know how that'll happen? It'll be in your head and you won't be thinking about it, but you'll draw it and then you'll compare it and be like, I just copied this. So I'm like trying not to do that with Librarian Baboon. And I think I'm doing alright. It's buildings and shit. Oh, wow. Buildings, amazing. I need to do something on this page. This is more like Gertrude doodles. I'll neaten those up at some point. So yeah, I'm almost done. I'm filling in the spaces. I've got a couple of pages left. And then I'm going to move on to this. Oh, I can't wait. I actually can't wait to just have a tiny sketchbook. Like lots of little... I'll probably get sick of it several pages in and be like, I should have just gotten a regular size sketchbook. This is fucking dumb. I hate it. But until then... So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to just finish this fucking sketchbook now. So I'm filling in the spaces. With some drawings of... randomly, some drawings of Gertrude from I Hate Fairyland. There's no reason. I told you already. There's no. It's not for anything. Stop asking. It's not for anything. Just felt like drawing it. Let's get some blood. Oh no, I'm bleeding. Oh, my head's been cut off. What am I going to do? Oh, die, I guess. And his body's down here somewhere. Going, and the axe is here with blood coming down this way. Blood, blood for the blood god. Oh shit, there's so much blood everywhere.